everybody, welcome to Friday Sews. My name's Carole, this is my channel Sew Carole, and I'm coming to you today from my number 2 sewing room. I'm down at the bottom of the garden in the room which I'm now calling my additional sewing room because I actually did some sewing down here the weekend. It was lovely and sunny, so I thought why not, I don't want to be stuck indoors, so why not come out here. Now, I sewed quite a few things this week. Sometimes I actually feel guilty because I know a lot of you don't have a chance to sew as much as I do. And I almost feel sometimes quite guilty that I've sewn quite a few things, but it's because it's literally all I do in my spare time. I don't really have a social life. I sew every evening, so that's a good 2-3 hours an evening. So that's why I do so much, but I never want to make anyone feel guilty because they haven't managed to make anything in the week. Now, before I show you what fabrics I bought this week and patterns and what I've been sewing, I just want to thank Jen for creating the hashtag Friday Sews. We all just sit on a Friday and we chat about life and what we've been sewing and making and buying and planning. It's an easy way to find all the sewing YouTube creators on a Friday, or any day. You just type in hashtag Friday Sews into the YouTube search bar and you can catch up with what everybody's been doing. So I will show you what I've been making now. So the first thing I made was this simplicity trousers I was going to make. This pattern was given to me from Jen, and she thrifted it, I think, and it's from 2002. Now, I thought that's quite recent, and when you realise it's 21 years old, that's actually quite scary. I did version C. I wanted some crop trousers and I bought some twill fabric a couple of weeks ago. So why is there always threads on everything? Just when you think you get rid of everything. Anyway, these are the trousers. This pattern was cut for an 8. Now, I'm a 10 sometimes, so I sort of graded out a bit all the way round. I needn't have done that. This 8 was bigger than a normal 8 because I wouldn't be able to get into a normal 8 size trousers. Anyway, so I graded out, but actually ended up having to come back in again. Quite a good pattern. Threads. I added some pockets on the back because I always like to tuck my phone in my back pocket. It's got pockets on the front. It's got a fly that comes over and you've got the security of another button. It's got a zip front, but it didn't have a fly sort of front placket, if you know what I mean, which was really weird. So I went on and sewed it up together, and to me that's just weird for a pair of trousers. Skirt, yeah, but I don't know, it just felt weird, and I didn't feel safe that I wasn't going to chop some skin off every time I did the zip up. So I actually went back in and put a placket on. So it's not done as well as it could do, but I had to undo the waistband and kind of insert it back in again. So at least I've got a bit of something now, just as a bit of protection against that zip. So I am quite happy with them, as you can see. Now, the next things I went on to make was something that I've been meaning to do for a while. I was chatting to Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews about a t-shirt, and she suggested that I give the Cashmerette Concord tee a go. Now, you know I sew mainly big 4. I have got quite a few indie patterns and I have done a couple of t-shirt patterns actually, but I thought I'd give this one a go because it had the cup sizes, because I keep moaning about the fact I've got some drag lines there. So I thought I'd give it a go. I don't do PDFs, so I ordered the physical pattern and I traced it off because I wasn't sure on the sizing. So I traced it off on a size which I thought was right, but I think it was too tight. And that was the first version I did with the mid-length sleeves. It's very tight on the arms, and that's what I didn't realise about this t-shirt pattern, is how close fitting it is. So I wasn't 100% sure that I had chosen the right pattern to begin with because I had the lines here as well. But other than that, it was quite a nice fit. So I thought I'd go back and I would do a size bigger. And because I didn't want another mid-length one, I thought I'd do it in a short sleeve version. So I am quite happy about that. I am going to wear this one without a doubt, but the only thing is I'm just about worried. It shows my biceps a bit too much. I wish. So I went, got a cotton jersey again, and I made a short sleeve version. And that was really interesting to do actually, because the short sleeve version came with this really nice cuff band on the edges. This one, again, had some drag lines here. Maybe that's something I'm going to just always have to have if I haven't got a dart in a pattern. But it is a bit gappy up here. So maybe that was, when a size bigger wasn't quite the answer. And the other thing is I had to bring it in at the sides a little bit because then it was too big. So a combination of these two would probably be perfect. I am really pleased about it. I do like the scoop neck. A lot of my t-shirts come up here, which isn't very flattering for the horrible neck that I've got. So a scoop neck is a little bit better on me, I think. All in all, I'm definitely going to use this pattern again and maybe do a kind of combination between the two sizes. But yeah, thank you, Izzy. Now I've got a cuteness warning out for this because this is cute. I made my first baby item this week for the granddaughter to be, and that was Kwik Sew 2433. I made this one for the first grandson when he was due, and I made the version with the little cute little feet. Now I'm a realist. I know in reality they probably won't use this. This was more for me, for making it, because I was desperate to make it. So here it is. Isn't that so cute? Look at the feet. Now it is quite wide, but I know in reality that they're probably not going to use it. It was lovely until I added the poppers, and I've said about poppers before. I was persuaded to buy some of the Prim Love ones, which are more plasticky, rather than using the ones with the claws, which I have trouble with. That's fine, they did go on better, but the trouble is, once I put one on, and I then realised how thick that actually is, when you've got the two sides, that's quite a bulky bit of plastic. And there's nothing I could do but to go on and do them all. And they are quite stiff. They work, but they're quite stiff. So I know it's more for the look of it that I've actually made it. And it was a beautiful little fabric, and I really enjoyed making it. The different colour poppers are so they know to match them up in the beginning. Maybe they'll wear it once, I use it once, I don't know. But the best thing about this pattern is the little hat that comes with it. And this can be made in about 5 minutes on a serger. It's brilliant. And I remember my daughter using it for the grandsons. Very quick little jersey made. Lovely. No seams inside. Lovely. So I'm going to make a bunch of these because all in all, these are the most important things in all different colours. It's babies need hats, no matter when they're born, whatever time of year, they need hats. So I did have fun making this, but I'm going to make some more baby items, but I'm going to try and avoid poppers in future because it just spoils the end result in my opinion. So, but still cute. Now, I achieved what I wanted to achieve at the weekend, and that was make some bunting for the coronation that's coming up very soon on May the 6th. So that's only a couple of weeks really. And I just wanted some bunting for the front of the house, get in the spirit of it. So I came down to this room and made some bunting at the weekend. Now, I did it the way I always do it. You know, I don't do 2 triangles and turn them inside out and do it that way. When my daughter got married a few years ago, I had to make about 200 feet of bunting. So I kind of worked out a way that was the quickest and looked the best. And it's worked for me. I have my trusty cereal box pattern that I always use, that I cut out of a cereal box many years ago, which I still have. And what I normally do is I cut 2 triangles, wrong sides together. I sew around the outside about 1/4 of an inch in, maybe a little bit more, and then I pinking shears around the edge. I love doing the pinking shears bit. And then I just get a bit of twill tape and encase them in. Now, so I have made, I'll show you a bit of it. I made two pieces. I made a very long piece and I made another piece which is about 10 foot long. So all in all, I've got over 40 feet of bunting here, and there was about 50, I think it was about 50 triangles. And that was out of 2 meters of fabric. So I was really happy about that. So there we go. I did purple and red alternating. Yeah, done. Very happy. And I don't know if you caught Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews this week. I think it was on Tuesday. She put out a video, her tutorial for another mug rug. Now I missed the last one. I just didn't have time to do it, but she did a spring one this time. And I don't think I finished watching her video before I was rummaging through my scrap box trying to find some scraps. So this is my version. Thank you so much, Izzy. I'll put the link for the video before, but it's a tulip. I didn't have brilliant fabrics for it, but I really had so much fun doing it. So you got the tulip. You could have sort of shaded it with different colours of pink, but I didn't really have that. And the green is a bit dodgy for the leaves, but it's really happy. Lovely little mug rug. Quilted it. I did some wiggly lines. They are meant to be wiggly, I promise. And I thought it was poetically like a tulip coming up through the mist or something, having my wiggly lines. Izzy had done some amazing free motion embroidery on hers. I don't have the capability to do that, so wiggly lines was my limit. And I did the different backing, so have a go. It's really quick to make, great fun. I've been playing on my embroidery machine, of course, this week. And what I did a Lightning McQueen t-shirt for my grandson. I'll put a picture in. And also my daughter came round at the weekend and she actually had a go. Katie actually sat at my sewing machine and had a go, and she did, with my help, a fantastic Mickey and Minnie on a t-shirt, and I'll put that picture in because she was so thrilled. We had a lot of stresses through that. There was a lot of colour changes. We had a broken needle, not sure why. We had a broken bobbin thread where we actually had to take the design out, replace the bobbin thread and back in again, and we managed to work out how to get the stitching so it started in the right area again. And then we had a broken top thread. So we made it all the way through and it looked amazing and she was so thrilled. So that was good. What I've also done is I've gone online and I've managed to get off Etsy some proper Coronation emblems to go onto the embroidery machine. So I bought them, I think it was about £5, and put them onto a USB stick and put them into the machine, and that's the first time I've done that. So there is a wonderful, the proper Coronation emblem. I haven't done that one yet because that actually takes an hour to do. So I want to probably put that on a t-shirt for myself, I've decided. But one thing I did that was 15 minutes was the official logo, one of them again. So that's Charles, Rex, which is the R, which is Latin for king, and the third. Now that's actually quite cool. It's bigger than I would want, really, but that's actually quite, I was really pleased. I was really pleased how that came out. I bought some patterns this week, which I shouldn't do because I have way too many. Now, 2 of them came with my Sew magazine, and that was this first one, Simplicity 9473. Now, I might in fact use this because I've got a wedding to go to in October, and I have been looking for something. This style of dress actually works for me, and it's got this jacket and it's got quite an interesting shape on the jacket. So definitely going to keep an eye on that one and possible fabrics and maybe play around with it in the summer, see if it could look all right. So that's a possible. The second one, I'm not going to use this one. I did offer it to Jen because her daughters love circular skirts, but she's got enough patterns and she's a genius anyway. She knows how to do it without a pattern. but that's Simplicity 8743. So that's going to go in a pile I have. I will be doing a fabric giveaway when I get to my May anniversary. So yeah, that's going to go in that. I was watching a Sew Essential vlog last week, and I picked up a skirt pattern, and I don't know why, because I don't wear skirts, but I really liked the look of this Burda skirt, and it's Burda 6137. I really liked the look of that skirt. I also like the look of the little flippy skirt. I call them a flippy skirt if they've got the bit on the bottom. I don't know, maybe I'll give it a try. But I did like the sort of yoke that comes down and the patch details, pocket details on there. So maybe I'll have a go. And this one I definitely want to do. This is Simplicity 9471, and in the shops now, all we can see are like cargo-y trousers, and this is very similar. That's the line drawings on the back. But I love the kind of angled pockets and pockets down here, and that's very similar to a Simplicity pattern that I love and make so many times. So I really want to have a go at making these. I'm hoping that they don't balloon out too much. If they do, I'll bring them in a bit, but I'd love to have a go at that. Let me know if you've had that pattern. I also picked up some new fabric this week for baby items, totally justified, but I have to show you. I bought it from First for Fabrics, and doesn't it make you feel special when you get a handwritten note from somewhere that you order fabric from? So this is from the lovely Tamlin that works there from Sewn on the Tyne, who is one of the YouTube vlog gods in my opinion. So it came, I love it when it comes in tissue paper, pattern paper, because I am always desperate to then type in the code and see what they've used. And I actually have the pattern that they've used. It's a pattern I've never made because I was never sure about it. It was a jumper where you have the seams on the outside. I'll put a picture in. I'm never sure because I think if I made it, people would just think I was wearing it inside out. I don't know. Anyway, so I had this lovely little note from Tamlin saying, "Carol, thank you so much for your order. Gorgeous colours. Happy Sewn, Tamlin." That makes you feel so special, doesn't it? It's incredible. So I just had a go ordering some baby fabrics. A couple of them I don't think are. This was a lovely, just pastel, lovely, all cotton jerseys, little tiny little pinstripe. That's beautiful. This one here is a lovely pink, perfect. Possible, not sure. This one, for some reason, I don't think so for a baby, but that's fine. I can easily use it. I mean, I've only got half a metre, but I could easily use it for colour blocking or something else. But I think that's a bit too old for a baby. But all these, beautiful. Can't wait to get sewing them. Next week. So what will I be sewing next week? I'm home alone for most of the week because my hubby's away travelling with work. So I'll have lots of time. I've got to crack on and make my Coronation trousers. This was the fabric, if you didn't see it in the vlog. I mean, it's got everything going on, hasn't it? It's got the golden carriage, it's got Big Ben, it's got Westminster Abbey, it's got soldiers, it's got the crowns, it's got everything. These are going to make one amazing pair of trousers, which I will only wear for one day, and then I'll have to cut it up and use it for different things. But the pattern I've decided to use, I'm going to make them cropped, but the pattern I've decided to use was Simplicity 8891. And I know it looks like it's a dress pattern, but actually it's a really good pair of trousers. I've made the shorts before, so I know they fit nicely. So I'm going to make the trousers. So this is this really cool pattern. It's got front pockets. The only thing is I've lost the 2 waistband pieces for this pattern, but that's easy. I'll just pick it up off another pattern and then just trace it off. But yeah, they're going to be made next week. The photos I'm going to put at the end this time, if you hang around to the end, as of a walk I did on my own, very long walk last weekend. I went up to what I call the lookout. It used to be a fire tower on top of it that was taken down long ago, so there are some concrete posts left, but it was put on top of a tumulus. Now if you don't know what they are, I'll try and explain, but they fascinate me. All over the countryside you'll see a massive mound of earth. They are ancient burial grounds, Anglo-Saxon I think, I might look that up, and obviously they built a huge burial ground on top. If it's very often nearby there's a smaller one which was a women one. What always fascinates me is the fact that every time I go up there I took a nice cup of tea, a couple of chocolate biscuits, and Mickey was up there with me, and he always starts digging, which always kind of like, oh, what's he going to come across and how deep down are those bones? But he's just always fascinated of digging up there. So I will put a couple of photos in anyway. So that's it for me this week. Thank you so much for joining me on #FridaySews. I love having your company and chatting to someone, and I love chatting with you in the comments down below. Have a wonderful weekend, whatever you get up to, whether you're doing any sewing or spending time with family or just enjoying some of the spring weather that we've now got in this country and hopefully in the Northern Hemisphere. I will see you all again soon. Goodbye for now, and thanks again.